It is only when we truly know and understand we have limited time on earth, and we have no way of knowing when our time is up, that we will begin to live each day to the fullest, as if it were the only one we have. "20 years from now, you will be more disappointed by the things that you didn't do than by the ones you did do. So throw off the bow lines, sail away from the safe harbor, catch the trade winds in your sails, explore, dream, discover. The purpose of life, after all, is to live it, to taste experience to the utmost, to reach out eagerly and without fear for a newer and richer experience. To those who stay put, the world is but an imaginary place. But to the movers, the makers, and the shakers, the world is all around, an endless invitation. So the only question left to ask yourself is, where should you go now?"
What is up? 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 Ali Madawi live here with you on a brand new edition of Yup Daily. And yes, I got a little raspy voice. It's sweater season, and you know how it happens in the Northeast. That weather sneaks up on you. You think it's 75 and 72, and it's all beautiful fall weather. And all of a sudden, it's 55, and your throat starts to sound like this. But ladies and gentlemen, welcome. I am so grateful and happy to see you here with me. Good morning or good evening from Sydney, Australia. Weenie, always amazing to have you. Hey, Tracy, good morning. Shelly, good morning. Facebook user, good morning. And good morning to you, too, from wherever you may be around the world. My name is Ali Madawi, and I'm your host with the Avocado Toast. I'm the global master trainer of the Young Entrepreneur Project, where we help you either start, grow, or scale a business. And you can also monetize in different verticals that you can either build your book of business and or build a sales force should you want to do so for other entrepreneurs as well. Today, I have a topic that usually is considered an important foundational piece if you truly, and I insist on truly, are an entrepreneur. But many wannapreneurs, these are people who are not necessarily educated on what it actually takes to take advantage of the entrepreneurial journey, or they haven't been taught and they were just thrown to the wolves, and they think, I don't want to do sales. I don't like sales. Well, if you don't like sales, you shouldn't be in business, period, because sales is what generates revenue. Revenue is what creates profits. Profit is what creates cash flow. Cash flow is created, reinvested in your business, and boom, you're scaling and growing, baby, right? But today I'm going to talk to you about how to create sales as a newbie, right? Let's say, what does it really take for me to understand how to generate sales? Now, do not mistake generating sales with a salesperson. See, there is an activity and there's an identity. A salesperson has an identity and a persona that, per example, unfortunately, it is looked upon as a bad thing, right? The last time you had a bad salesperson knock on your door, you were very annoyed of how aggressive they were, how they weren't considerate, how they didn't care. I remember I had a salesperson that knocked on my door, and all I did is open my door. I'm like, hey, like, please, not right now. My child just went to sleep, and they were frustrated. I'm like, well, what do you want me to do? Come back? I was like, you knocked on my door, dude. Like, like, no, don't come back at all just because of how rude you are being. Or telemarketers, they are untrained, horrible salespeople who don't know what it actually takes to show empathy, to listen, to be kind to human beings. And by default, that leads for the individual to start thinking, I don't want to ever be this person who just called me, right? So sales by history always has this bad experience or bad sound behind it. And unfortunately, many people don't want to deal with it. Well, let me tell you what I did. So in the last 2.5 years, we've initiated this entrepreneurial community from scratch, literally from a Facebook Live. And we said, we're going to build an entrepreneurial community and change the world. Well, today, for me personally, selfishly speaking, and for my family, it's a multiple 7-figure of earning business that is achieved and set up, right? Now, how did we go from zero to that in a matter of 2.5 years? Sales. Now, how did I create sales? It wasn't me being an aggressive, pushy, trying to get people on a Zoom or buy something. It was more on a nurturer or a farmer mindset. Let me explain. So, when it comes to a farmer, the farmer plants the seeds, then the farmer would water the seeds, then the farmer would remove the weeds around the plants, and then the farmer would nurture and make sure there's the right wind, the right fertilizers, the right different things in order to have a good harvest, right? Let me put that example for you in a sales example. See, for 2.5 years, I've not only reached out and consistently every single day prospected the right individuals, but I've always nurtured those relationships, even if they weren't ready to do business with us. As a matter of fact, one of the best decisions that we've ever had and the best thing that happened for us in the recent days of our community was a gentleman by the name of Corey Cromray and a whole driven vertical that we've added. This gentleman has been with us since day one. He just wasn't ready. He said, listen, I appreciate the opportunity, but I don't think I'm ready to embark in the journey with you. And by default, for 2.5 years, a relationship was always there. There was always nurturing that took place. There was always, I love you. I appreciate you. I'm glad we're connected with you. The happy birthdays, the happy holidays, God bless the children, and so on and so forth, right? There was no business interactions at all. Not even a little bit, but there was always nurturing. But when Corey was ready, he came back and said, hey, I'm ready to jump and take on the journey with you. And now it's been an incredible explosion in production with his team and what he's doing, right? So many of us, unfortunately, get so aggressive on the right person early on and get pushy that person has such a horrible taste in their mouth about that interaction that they don't even want to deal with you anymore. So the very first thing in sales is not to be aggressive and pushy. The very first thing is to understand with the person that you're speaking with, the prospect, where they are, who they are, what's important to them. So God gave you 2 ears and 1 mouth. You got to use them in that order. See, when I talk to a prospect, and that happened like every single day, but when I talk to a prospect, I don't say, okay, let me tell you about my company and my business and why you should be a client or why you should join me in my journey. I ask simple questions. So tell me a little bit about what you're working on. Tell me about your passion. Where are you from where you are to where you want to be? What is the missing link? What do you need in order to achieve the success that you want to do? So on and so forth. And I just listen and take notes, And I just literally become an advisor. I sit there and I coach and mentor as if they are paying me $10,000. I give the value up front. Now, the person is going to qualify himself or herself. The person is going to say, man, that was awesome. Thank you so much for giving me all this. Now, that is a qualifying statement that I've received so much value from you. Then I continue by saying, well, listen, I don't know if the timing is right for you in your life, but we just spent like 20 to 30 minutes and you said you've gotten so much value. Imagine if we do this every single day. If we were to actually collaborate together, would you be open to that? And then that's me intentionally asking for an actual financial transaction, right? Or at least to consider to doing business together in some way, shape, or form. That individual is either going to say, oh, absolutely. Now that's a hot lead, right? That's someone who's really at the 90% level to getting started or financing or investing or doing something. Or if they say, to be honest with you, it's just not right now. That's someone that is at 10% on the level of how ready they are. But that tells me what? Hey, farmer, you've planted a seed. You need to water, you need to nurture, you need to remove the weeds. And I might be ready next month. I might be ready next year. I might not be ready anytime soon. But as a farmer, I continue on. Now, here's the thing. Here's the bad salesperson, right? Or the person that does not have the proper experience or expertise. That person will just plant a seed once and one seed only in a huge farming field. And they say, nah, this doesn't work. I hate it. I don't have any plants. There's no harvest. The reality is you need to plant seeds everywhere in a consistent way every single day. You need to continue to water those seeds in the soil every day, all over, every single consistent way possible. That is what leads to the sale. Many, unfortunately, unprepared or untrained individuals thinks sales is me saying buy and I get a credit card. That's a final transaction of a sales cycle. Sale is very, very early on doing the right activity over a long period of time in the multitudes. See, I reach out to 30 people every single day. It doesn't mean that I prospect them, but every single day I have interactions with 30 new people every single day. And if they qualify themselves and have a business conversation with me, it may be one, it may be five people that I'm ending to doing business with that week, that day, that month. But I always and forever and 100%, I'm consistently putting the seeds, watering the seeds, continuing to work that soil. See, sales is not about a closer. And by the way, on Thursday, I'm going to talk to you about closing. That's a different part of the sales cycle. Today, I'm educating you on what it takes. So part of sales is prospecting. Part of sales is approaching. Part of sales is pre-qualifying. Part of sales is identifying the needs. Part of sales is giving the upfront value. See, there's so much more to it. But many people skip the proper education on all the different steps and they just want to go to the close. That's not how it works. If you go from hello to the close, it's like you just met a brand new human and you say, will you marry me? That's not how it works. You need to do a whole lot of pre-qualifying amount of activities before you get to the will you marry me part. Many people just want to close on day one, and that's why many people get rejected on day one and forever will be rejected. That's why most people who get into the business community, whether solopreneurs or traditional business, they fail within 90 to 180 days and quit within the first year. That's not because business is bad. That's because you just were not educated the proper way on how to develop a sales cycle, how to develop business, how to attract people. Many people don't even understand the difference between marketing and sales, the two main legs of building a business. Marketing is I'm attracting you in. Selling is I'm transacting that attraction that I just brought you in. Is what I'm saying connecting with you? Do you feel and understand now why you're not able to close a sale? It isn't because you don't have the potential. It isn't because you just don't have what it takes. It's because you were not educated the proper way and you did not have the mindset of a farmer. The farmer puts seeds everywhere and nurtures. You, unfortunately, and I've made the same mistake, planted one seed in a huge land and just watered that one seed and never came back when the weeds were there and they were killing that seed. They were killing that plant. You never cleaned it up. You never nurtured that relationship. You just said, I don't see a plant. This doesn't work. I'm quitting. I'm giving up on this field. That's the same exact idea that you are projecting when you are in your business day to day. Let me ask you a question. Last week, how consistent were you with your prospecting? How consistent were you with your exposing the business? How consistent were you in actually intentionally approaching somebody? How consistent were you with just talking to humans? How many humans did you talk to last week, whether it was Messenger, phone call, Zoom, Facebook Live, whatever term of communication? How many? How many per day? How many per hour? How many hours did you spend on interacting with humans last week? I mean, help me help you. How many? See, if you did not take those prior steps, I spoke to thousands. That's why I enrolled hundreds. And yes, I did enroll hundreds, but I spoke to thousands. I was rejected 900 times to get the right 10 people. Yes, 10 people. And out of those 10 people, there are multitudes of individuals in 6 continents right now. There are 6-figure months right now of revenue. That was not because I was good in sales. That's just because I understood the logic of a farmer. And I said, I'm going to cater and make sure that the land is always taken care of, that there's enough water, that I'm going to serve the field. I'm going to remove all the weeds and protect this field. And then the harvest became plenty. Scripture says the harvest is plenty, but the workers are few. That means that there are many people who have incredible amount of abundance in front of them, but they don't have the right mindset of the farmer. That farmer understood that I might have a bad season too. That farmer understood I may do everything right for 4 seasons in a row and I might not have the right harvest, but I'm willing to try it again and again and again. See, some of us have had 4 or 5 years in a row with ridiculous, horrible failures. And that's why we're succeeding now. Are you doing the required activity to generate that sale, or are you just going right to the sale? Sales 101 does not mean I am a hard closer. A lot of people that I do three-way calls for, or they put me on their Zooms, they're like, man, dude, everybody you talk to signs up, right? Because everybody I talk to, I tell them, so tell me about what's important to you. And if I were to work with you, what would you expect from me? And if I could do exactly that for you today, would you start with us today? Cool. Here's what I'm going to do. Exactly what you asked for at the exact budget that you want to spend on. And we're going to do it for exactly the same time that you want to do it. I give people what they want. I don't ask them to sign up for me. I just tell them what is important to you. What do you really want out of this business, out of life? And I would work with them to deliver it. Start serving your field. Start catering. Start protecting your harvest. If all you're doing is, where's the fruit? I'm hungry. I need to eat now. You have the wrong mindset, my friend, and you're not going to do very well in the business community. Many people ask me all the time, what am I doing wrong? You're not farming. That's what you're doing wrong. You're not being patient. You're not understanding the law of farming. You're not understanding the law of the universe. You're not understanding the law of the land. You're not understanding that there isn't enough water that you're pouring into the field. There isn't enough value that you're providing to the few seeds that you already have. You're not showing it. All you're saying is give me, give me, give me, give me, give me. And the world knows that. The world feels that. And that sense of desperation, people stay away from it. I mean, it's not attractive to sound desperate. And unfortunately, many people wear the title of leader just because they have a rank. Doesn't mean that they're leaders. Humble yourself. I don't care. I mean, if you ever seen me anytime in any private Zoom in our community, what do I say? All my title means is I serve a whole lot of people all around the world. And I hope that you wear that hat too. Start serving people and watch the magic happen. Now, this whole week is going to be so rocking. We have so many incredible events that are taking place. Brand Valet, the 7 to 10 figure brand creator system with Livia Fisher-Kane. We have a webinar on that tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Oh my goodness. We have an incredible leadership training and another line of incredible amount of people that we are celebrating. And tonight, Corey Cromray is going to be our lead trainer this evening, the president and co-founder of Driven. So you do not want to miss out tonight. He's bringing the heat. This just whole week, we're in the middle of peak mood, busy season right now. And I just hope and pray that you're taking advantage. We are here to serve you. We are here to help and assist. And if you ask yourself at any point this question, what am I doing wrong? It's not about what are you doing wrong. What you're not asking is, how much more do I have to do right? That's probably the right question that I would ask myself. I know I'm doing something right. I'm having mild results, but how much more of the right thing that I need to do? Am I investing my time and my resources on the wrong place, even if it's the right thing to do? I hope to see you this evening at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's going to be an incredible, incredible night for us. And it's going to be an incredible week for us. So I hope that you are ready, because I'm certainly ready for you. I appreciate and love each and every one of you. And I'll be seeing you tonight. Have a blessed day.